News Radio 1000 KTOK. I'm Gwin Faulconer-Lippert. It's time for our Pike Off OTA, or Oklahomans for Responsible Transportation, or No More Turnpikes update. And Randy Carter, who is the Director of Strategic Communication, is joining us. And I always look forward to these every month, Randy, so you can give us a call to action. And how are you?
I'm just great. How are you?
Great. Thank you very much. How's Pike Off doing?
Hey, we are plugging away. We win a few and lose a few, but we're moving on. We are right now actively pursuing a House bill that has been voted yes out of committee, and it needs to be heard on the Senate floor. It's something that we're quite interested in, and it's about open records and state agencies or whatever governmental entity. It's covered under the law. We are asking for just a little bit of feedback on that. And what's precipitated all of this is that we have our people have requested information from the Turnpike Authority, from different governmental agencies that have to do with this turnpike business. And one in particular that was pretty significant that we made, it took them 14 months to respond to that. And we had no clue. I mean, it was all of a sudden out of the blue there it came. And interestingly enough, the information that we requested, and it was from the Turnpike Authority, the Oklahoma Turnpike Authority, obviously, and I'm sure many of your listeners are familiar with the Supreme Court case that we've talked about in the past that indeed did give authorization to the Turnpike Authority to build some things that we think are inappropriate, that we've been fighting against. But had we gotten that information, and surprisingly enough, the information was released to us 2 or 3 days before the Supreme Court ruling was revealed, which meant that had been months and months since our attorneys had made the pleadings in front of the Supreme Court expressing our issues and concerns with these proposed turnpikes. And we got some information in there that, again, we had requested it 14 months before. And had we gotten that information, we feel like it would have we don't know if it would have made a difference in the case, the outcome of the case, but we know it would have certainly made a difference in the pleadings that we were given, that our attorney presented before the Supreme Court, and hopefully it would have had a different effect. But yet we did not get that information in a timely manner as requested. Now, what this House Bill 2730 has to do with is open records requests. It doesn't make any major changes, but it does open the lines of communication with the governmental agency that somebody is requesting information from. As the law stands now, there's really no teeth in the law whatsoever. About the only recourse a citizen or a group might have when requesting open records information is to file suit and take that agency to court, which is not something either side really wants to do. But we would make a request and just crickets, nothing would be. There was no acknowledgement, there was no recognition, there was no answer on many of these for months and months and months and months. In fact, there's still some that are outstanding. And I don't know if you saw the article in the Oklahoman this week about that. It had to do with the education department and the personnel. What was it? They said like 160 people have left the
state education department. Yes.
Yes. Since the new administration has taken over there, and they had requested that information months and months and months and months ago and still have not received it. And I thought it was interesting in the article, they said they'd gotten that information from other sources. Who knows what that means exactly. But we certainly, as citizens of Oklahoma, we are entitled to this information by law. So what this House bill...
I did not do a very good job of setting this up. We need to remind everyone that there is a proposed toll road program called Access Oklahoma, And the proposal is for the Oklahoma Turnpike Authority to put 3 additional turnpikes through Cleveland County. Right now, there are, 150 construction sites for Oklahoma highways going on right now, and they want to add more turnpike construction sites. And Randy Carter is one of the people in Norman who one of the turnpikes would actually go right through his living room, as was others and members of this group. And so, Randy, I want to say this, though, before the time gets away. I was so encouraged that the city council voted down a entertainment district in Mustang because it was offensive and disturbed the peace of that neighborhood. Well, what could be more disturbing of the peace than to have turnpikes go right through your living room?
Well, yes, that is quite disturbing. Just the thought of it is quite disturbing. But the situation there with that entertainment venue, that was, I believe it was in the city of Oklahoma City, and it had to be approved by the city.
Yes.
And these turnpikes don't have to be approved by the city. The Turnpike Authority has the power of eminent domain and can come in and just take people's property. And
which
they say
we saw the saddest story, although victorious, the saddest story where one family had their properties seized by eminent domain for the Kickapoo Turnpike, I believe, and then they ended up tearing down this, and when you see the picture of that house, it wasn't a little, 1,100 square foot, craftsman. It was a beautiful, beautiful home on an estate kind of place. And the courts sided with the owners and awarded them, $2.9 million?
I believe that's the number that is awarded. But also, if that judgment holds, and there's talk that it might be appealed, but if that judgment holds, the Turnpike Authority will be responsible to pay those. I believe the Brewers, is the family that's involved here, will be required to pay them the $2.9 million of the judgment, but they'll also be required to pay all the legal fees, the attorney's fees as well on top of that.
Wow. Yeah, and that mounts up. And you know that as well because the Oklahomans for Responsible Transportation is a volunteer group, and you all have fundraisers to raise money to challenge turnpikes in Cleveland County. Are you having any kind of fundraiser anytime soon?
Yeah, absolutely. We are having one this coming Wednesday, as a matter of fact. We're calling it a community dinner. It's going to be held at Das Boot Camp, which is an excellent German restaurant right here in Norman at 222 East Main. This Wednesday, the 17th, it's going to be from 4 till 8 p.m. There'll be a lot of us that are, kind of prime in all these activities there probably the whole time to answer questions and to talk to people. But it's an opportunity to come out. And Das Boot Camp is going to donate a percentage of all the meals that are purchased to our cause, which is most generous and greatly appreciated. But it'll be a chance for everybody to come in, people that we've talked to and on the phone or that have been helping us with the cause through email or whatever. Be a chance to just kind of meet and greet and visit and find out more about what's going on our end of trying to fight these Category 5 turnpikes that are trying to create this devastation throughout Cleveland County. And so I'd encourage everybody to come out and join us this Wednesday, the 17th, at Das Boot Camp in Norman.
Randy Carter is the Director of Strategic Communications for the Oklahomans for Responsible Transportation. They're fighting Access Oklahoma. 3 turnpikes through 1 county is the essence of this. And there are so many parts of this that are so convoluted. I hope you'll stick around to hear more about it. I'm Gwin Faulconer-Lippert. You're listening to 1000 KTOK. We'll have more with Randy when we come back. Yeah, I'm Gwin Faulconer-Lippert, talking to Randy Carter. He is the Director of Strategic Communications for the Oklahomans for Responsible Transportation.